and economic environments, from climate change to agriculture, and from gender equality to health. Access to sustainable energy clearly impacts all dimensions of sustainable human development. End of quote. By increasing renewable energy, we can reduce air pollution, cut global warming emissions, create new jobs and industries, diversify our power supply, decrease our dependence on coal and other fossil fuels, and move Africa towards a cleaner, healthier energy future. Ladies and gentlemen, sustainable energy and agriculture are a winning combination. Wind, solar, and biomass energy can be harvested forever, providing farmers with a long-term source of income. We can easily use wind and solar energy for targeted irrigation. My friends, about 60% of the world's remaining arable land is in Africa. And therefore, by utilizing sustainable agricultural practices by way of climate-smart agriculture, Africa can and should become the breadbasket of the world. Climate-smart agriculture is the necessary innovative agricultural production system, a combined policy, technology, and financial approach to enable countries achieve food security and agricultural development. In spite of the menacing climate change, the climate-smart agriculture approach involves the direct incorporation of climate change adaptation and mitigation into agricultural development planning and investment strategies. This transformation must be accomplished without depletion of the natural resources base and vital ecosystems that we have. Climate-smart agriculture ensures, firstly, sustainable increases in agricultural productivity and incomes. Secondly, adaptation and building of resilience to climate change. And thirdly, reduction and/or removal of greenhouse gas emissions wherever possible. Distinguished audience, renewable energy offers strong environmental benefits that have important ramifications, not just for people, but also for wildlife. As you know, Africa abounds in sustainable energy sources. Africa should seek to ensure that the provision of sustainable energy will be the underpinning of Africa's development and integration into the world community. And in that vein, nothing should be too small to consider, nothing should be too big to be declared insurmountable. Africa has tremendous water and river systems, each of which should be considered as a candidate for hydroelectric power development. Let African countries undertake a comprehensive program of mini and micro hydroelectric dam development to provide clean and renewable energy services to its peoples, especially those in localized communities in off-grid areas. In the same vein, Africa should, under the auspices of NEPAD, New Partnership for Africa's Development, team up with the international investors to jointly develop the Grand Inca hydroelectric project of the Congo River in the Democratic Republic of Congo. The Grand Inca Dam is the world's largest proposed hydropower scheme. It is the centerpiece of a grand vision to develop a continent-wide power system. The hydroelectric project, estimated to cost upwards of $80 billion United States dollars, is built to produce 40,000 megawatts of electricity to allow Africa's industrial and manufacturing industry to take off. It has the potential to power an unprecedented era of industrialization in Africa, and even have electricity left over for potential export to Europe. Indeed, this will be the greatest manifestation of Africa's integration into the new and evolving world order of globalization. Excellencies, in the course of the last 2 decades, African countries had generally liberalized their economies by way of all-embracing regulatory reforms, making them investor-friendly. Most are also practicing good governance principles that should attract investment know-how and technology transfer. This has engendered an investment atmosphere of serious win-win public-private partnership possibilities to develop the African continent. However, African countries must make further gains in good governance by ensuring the rule of law, respect for constitutional rights, as well as the predictability of the law and of justice. They should pursue the fight against graft, corruption, and malfeasance in government more vigorously. It is when these are pursued that the investor confidence will be buoyed and the needed domestic and foreign investments will be realized in full. Ladies and gentlemen, Africa has abundant and year-round sunshine which can be trapped for ambitious solar energy generation, for our use and for export, granted that the necessary transformational technological transfer will be available to make it affordable. African countries, especially those with vast areas of desert land, should embark on a vigorous regimen of energy production from solar and wind sources for domestic use and for export. According to a report by the Sustainable Energy Authority of Ireland, Europe's green energy market is estimated to be worth annually 155 billion euros by the year 2020. Africa can easily have a lion's share of this strategic market. We should immediately start investing in sustainable energy on a grand scale because not only is it the right thing to do, but also the necessary thing to do as we seek the sustainability of our planet and world integration. In China's 2011 to 2015 5-year plan for economic and social development, the country proposed to spend $473.1 billion United States dollars on clean energy investments. In 2013 alone, China spent a total of $56.3 billion on wind, solar, and other renewable projects, and in so doing, led the rest of the world in renewable energy investments. China is now home to about 24% of the world's renewable power capacity, and its goal is to have 20% of its total energy demand sourced from renewable energy by the year 2020. The United States of America is also doing a lot to invest in green technologies, and it is second only to China in such investments. In 2013, the United States clean energy investments topped $36.7 billion. The government just recently announced tough restrictions on coal-fired thermal plants. So, Excellencies, the challenge is for Africa to follow China and America's lead, because not only is it the energy of the future, but sustainable energy makes business sense. I call on the world to invest in the technologies that will make the almost exclusive reliance on fossil fuels not something to be frowned upon. We have to invest in technologies that can allow carbon capture from gas flaring as well as emissions from power plants that use fossil fuels to put them to good use. Research will lead to investments.